Hey, what's up, fellow slaves? I got a good video for you guys here today. Lots of information to cover, so let's jump right into it.
We will make them see their injustice, and it will hurt, as all fighting hurts. But we cannot lose. We cannot. They may torture my body, break my bones, even kill me. Then, they will have my dead body. Not my obedience. Let us take a solemn oath that, come what may, we will not submit to this law. We will not submit to this law.
So, I decided to look at how intense this flu season was. But before I get into that, I'm going to cover some material that I came across while I was doing the research for that. So if you type into Google, how many people in the US die from the flu each year, you're going to get these search results, or at least these are the search results that I got last night. So you can see I clicked on all of these already, so this is after I've already done my research. I decided I needed to go back and take some screenshots of this. So let's look at the order. So if this is how many people die from the flu each year, that's the first thing I clicked on. We'll be looking at that article in a little bit. But first, we're going to look at these two. How many people die from the flu each year in the US from WebMD, and how many people die from the flu each year, and then there's like a little bit more of a title, also from WebMD. So when you click on the one closest to the top, you would think that that material would be 1, the most factual, and 2, the most recent. So let's look at that one. So that one closer to the top is from WebMD. Remember, we're going to look at the very top one in a second. That one is just a pure piece of propaganda, but you'll see in a second. So, how many people die from the flu each year in the US? Answer: the number of people who die each year from flu-related causes in the US is 8,200 to 20,000. Now, right away, I was like, wait a second. First of all, what's up with that wording? The thing that I really focused on was like, wait a second, 8,200 to 20,000. I know for a fact that it's closer to between 50 and 60,000. So I'm like, okay, this is clearly wrong. And then I noticed the date here. I'm like, wait a second, this is November 16th, 2017. So I'm like, all right, you know what? I'll just go back and I'll click on that other link from WebMD. So I'd do that. And that one is actually more accurate. So how many people die from the flu each year, and how is it prevented? Now, see, this is a slightly different title. I'm like, wait a second. What a weird title for that, Because guess what? If you click on this, I'm pretty confident you're not going to find anything in there as to how is it prevented. But here, at least, it gives somewhat accurate information. The CDC estimates that as many as 56,000 people die from the flu or flu-like illnesses each year. Now, this is in the United States. This is not globally. Globally, 600,000 die each year. I'll be making a video on that later on, but I'm not making any promises. You guys can look that up yourself. So what I found funny about that, though, is like, wait a second, why would Google... Well, I know why they would do this, but I found it funny that Google would put this way inaccurate information and old information. See, oh yeah, sorry, I forgot. If you see this one, the one with the accurate information, it's also more recent, February 6, 2019. So why would Google put an older and not as accurate, actually completely inaccurate article closer to the top? Oh yeah, and then separate it. You got this one, the very top one, which I'm going to look at right now, pure propaganda. Then this one, inaccurate information and outdated. I don't even know, 2017, totally outdated. And then you got all this top news stuff. You got to fill the news here. And then you get this one down here with the more accurate information and the more recent. I'll say right there, that should be a red flag for everyone. There's absolutely no reason why this should be organized like this, and it is inexcusable. But now, let's move on to this article. Okay, this is a health.com article. This is what Google had at their very top of the list. I'm not going to read the whole thing. If you want to read the whole thing, by all means, go ahead and read it. I'm just going to read a couple things. So, this season, CDC estimates that as of mid-March, between 29,000 and 59,000 have died due to influenza illness. Right there, that should also raise red flags. Because, I mean, what kind of crazy estimate is that? Just say, oh yeah, between 1 and 100,000 people died from flu-related illnesses. I know that's a little hyperbolic, but they might as well. I mean, this is ridiculous estimates to be using like that, okay? I'm sure that they do know how many people have died from flu-related illnesses this year, okay? There's absolutely no reason why they need to have this wild estimate. This is another thing in this article that stood out to me. This next couple of things. The current flu season has been difficult, but it has not reached epidemic thresholds. You're going to see in a second that this is the worst flu season in at least the last 6 years. I only checked the last 6 seasons. I'm going to give you guys the place where you can go and check that, and you guys can check it for yourself. I didn't go back any further. I did this last night. I wasn't feeling too well. I was tired. I took a NyQuil. I passed out, and I kind of rushed it through. So you guys can check that out yourself. But anyway, so the current flu season. So they're saying that the current flu season has not reached epidemic levels, right? Now let's look at these numbers though, okay? Let's see what they say now. But then it says down here, in a matter of weeks, COVID-19 has reached pandemic status, sickening staggering numbers of people around the globe and spreading to every state in the US. Notice how they don't really use exact numbers there. As of March 26, more than 500,000 people around the world have contracted COVID-19 and nearly 24,000 have died. That's 24,000 globally. Okay, so they made a pandemic out of this thing that has only infected 500,000 people, only killed 24,000 people, yet the article admits that the CDC is estimating that the flu itself has killed more than this. And guess what? The flu has infected millions of people. But yet they have the nerve to say, oh yeah, this current flu season has been difficult, but it has not reached epidemic thresholds. So they can acknowledge that the flu is not at an epidemic threshold, but yet this virus, which is a fraction of the flu, literally a fraction of a fraction. We're talking about the flu infecting millions, killing hundreds of thousands globally. I mean, in the US alone, killing at least 50,000. Oh, but no, that's not even an epidemic, that's not a pandemic, but this other virus, total pandemic, we gotta lock down the entire fucking world and fuck everyone over. Sorry, let me not curse in this video, alright? So, anyway, now I'm just gonna present you guys some information. Sorry, I'm kind of doing this in a rushed manner. I got shit to do, I'm trying to make this video quick. So, these are the charts from the CDC. If you go to the cdc.gov, you can see all of these are from cdc.gov. None of this shit is made up material. You guys can go and find this stuff yourself. What you do, I'll try to put a link in the description, but if I don't, just type into Google flu season intensity and go to the CDC. They have it all right there. It's very obvious, okay? So I start this off at November 30th because prior to this, the flu season really doesn't kick off. It's very mild. But even if you do go to the start of this, trust me, this year, you'll see, is worse than these prior years. I have them all here, so I don't have to go back and forth. I couldn't fit any more in the screen. If I could have fit more of these windows into my laptop screen, I would have them there too. So I encourage everyone to go back further than what I went. I went back to 2014 to 2015. So here we go. So this year, you can see the dates here. I'm starting this year on November 30th, and then the other years, December 1st, December 2nd, December 3rd, December 5th, December 6th. Now, the reason why I started these other years a little bit later is because, not every year lines up correctly to date, and if I didn't start these other ones at a later date, they would have had to have been like an earlier date than November 30th. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll do the later date, and the later date should be more intense anyway, because as the flu season goes on, it intensifies, as you're going to see. So you can see the dates I'm starting at there. You can see also the key here, high, moderate, so you guys can understand I have the key there for you guys to be able to interpret this yourself. You don't need me interpreting it. You guys are grown-ups, right? So the next one is in late December. I kind of go through month order. I would have kind of gone through like a week or every 2 weeks, but as I said, I did this last night. I was really fucking tired, and, pardon me, forgive me, all right? So this next one is in late December. You can see it intensifying. Okay, the only year that comes close is 2014 to 2015 and 2017 to 2018. But you'll see those years still don't compare to this year. So as we move on, we're now in late January. So we went from late November to late December to late January. Then we're going to go to late February. Okay, and now you can see in late February, those years, the 2017 to 2018 and 2014 to 2015, They have nothing on this year now. Okay, so this year, not only was it more intense, but you're going to see it's actually going to last longer too. So we move on again, and now we're in the. So now I'm in like pretty much 2 weeks before the end of week of March. You know, you're going to see why in a second, okay? Because this year's chart only goes up to March 30th, as you're going to see. But as you can see, by March 20th, all of these other years that were bad have pretty much completely cleared up. The only year now that has anything on it is last year, but still has nothing on this year. You can see Puerto Rico red over here, District of Columbia red over here, New York City red over here. Last year, none of that. Okay? So you can see this year is very intense. Not only is it very intense, but this year the flu season's also dragging on longer. And I'm going to tell you my theory as to why I think that. So as you can see, this is the last data that we have for this year, March 28th. And that's why I also have one week before March 28th. And you can see by March 28th here, March 30th here, March 31st there, and April 1st and then April 2nd, April 4th, I had to do that because that's just how the weeks aligned. You guys can see it yourself. But still, you can see here, this year, still very intense. All of those other years, the flu season was practically over by this time. Now let's move on. I actually continued to see what the weeks ahead in these other years looked like. And by mid-April, the flu season was virtually ended. Unfortunately, this year they haven't updated the data for April yet, so I'll have to probably come back and look at that in another video. Now, the reason why I believe this flu season's been longer is because this has been a very wet season. I don't know how the other states have been, but I live in New York City, and it's been fucking raining like every week. Multiple times a week. It's been a very wet year, so it's created a perfect environment for viruses and bacteria to linger and to breed and to spread. So that's why I think this is the case. And these people, they're very smart, okay? These people in control, they're not fucking idiots. They know what kind of weather makes what kind of flu season's bad. They're not stupid. They probably knew in advance, like, okay, this is going to be a bad flu season, so it's the perfect time to have this scamdemic. And that's probably why they had Event 201 this year. So, anyway, I'm going to leave it here. Sorry if I missed anything. I'm doing this video rush too. I got shit to do. It's already 12 o'clock here. I'm going to have to fucking edit this video now and then upload it, and I got shit to do. So, I'm going to leave it here. I'll see you guys and girls in the next video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys and girls in the next video.